Hey guys, it's Mike with Become the Night. Welcome to Song Suggestion Friday. Now, one or two things I want to address up front here. My grading scale on this is just my opinion. This is nothing to do with any kind of reflection upon the merit of the songs that you guys asked me to review. This is just how I personally feel about it. It's based upon what I would want to listen to or not listen to. If I give it a plus sign, that means I would want to listen to it a lot. If I give it a minus sign, that means I would never want to listen to this again. If I give it an equal sign, it means I don't really have an opinion on whether or not I'd want to listen to it again. Also keep in mind, like I said, I've only listened to these songs once or maybe twice, so I'm not really getting the full gist of the song. This is just first impressions. I am a strong proponent and believer that in order to really understand a song, especially in a genre that you're not familiar with, you should give it at least 3 listenings before you can really start to understand it. The other thing I wanted to address is that I've only got another 15 songs here because I've been sick all week and I've been extremely busy. So tomorrow I'm going to try and post another Song Suggestion Friday on a Saturday so I can try and make up because you guys put a ton of suggestions in. But either way, you guys can put more suggestions in this video, although I'm just going to tell you right now, chances are I won't be adding them to the list because I have so much of those songs to keep up on. But next Friday, you can start putting your requests back in. First song up is Passion Proof Power by Ensiferum or something like that. This was suggested by a longtime subscriber, Darkion, and dude, this song was awesome. The guitar work was excellent. I mean, the beginning was a little straightforward, and I was kind of like, this is alright. But then it kind of grew into this prog venture, which was super cool. If I had to pick something out of this I would change the vocals, which weren't bad, just wasn't my thing. My grade for this song, 2 plus signs. Crypt Key by Windhand. This song was really not my thing at all, man. The guitar was way too fuzzy, it has that fuzz distortion on it, and it had a whole lot of low mid-range, which kind of sounds like a wall type of thing. Not my bag. One of my pet peeves in songs is when they are not rhythmically interesting, and this was the exact same rhythm throughout the entire song. Also really wasn't a big fan of the vocal style, so grade for this song, minus sign. Whore Please by In This Moment. This one actually surprised me. When I first heard the girl singing, I actually thought it was a guy, and then when I realized it was a girl, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. The song definitely is not my typical cup of tea, but I really enjoyed it. They mixed the drums, and I'm guessing they probably put some drum samples in there, so it sounded a little more electronic, but it had kind of a metal feel to it. Kind of like if you wanted to make a metal rap beat. And the vocals themselves were kind of a fusion of metal and rap, which is pretty cool. And the vocals are very effective for what they were trying to get across. The song exemplifies simple but effective. Total grade for this song, plus sign. Satellite by Rise Against. I know this is a good song, I know this is a good band, it didn't really appeal to me all that much. I'm not as much of a fan of when music puts more emphasis on the upbeat, like in punk or in polka or in reggae. And in general, I'm not really a huge fan of a very heavy pop punk influence like Rise Against is. But I didn't hate the song, it didn't bother me by any means, it's just not my bag. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Still Counting by Volbeat. The intro was actually pretty cool. I was expecting something more metal by looking at the artwork and listening to the title of the band. And then suddenly it became metal in the middle of the song, and I was like, where the hell did this come from? Instantly, when it started doing that more thrashy metal beat, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. I had a big grin on my face. And I don't know why, but the singer's voice cracks me up. I mean, it's not in a bad way. I don't think he's a bad singer at all, but it is like weird. It's very eccentric in its own way, but I like it. I do like it. The sound of the guitars and the drums kind of reminds me of the And Justice for All album by Metallica too, and all around the band has a really cool sound. Total grade for this one, plus sign. Windswept Fragments by Polypitch. This intro is pretty cool. This is probably my favorite part of the song, actually. And part of the intro really reminded me of the parts in Super Mario 3 where you go on the flying ship. I appreciate what they were trying to do here because it was very technical and they were making things that were musical and actually in music theory work very well. But it's, what do you call it? It's dissonant music, so they're focusing on augmented and diminished fifths, which makes it not typically pleasant. Total grade for this song, equal sign. The Burning of Salem by Witchery. This was just good thrash black metal. It was very solid songwriting for the genre, but just not exactly my thing. I don't get off on people talking about people ripping each other's heads off and hanging people and burning witches and shit, but I mean, it's not bad by any means. And I will say the band conveyed their feeling very well in this song. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Oceanborn by Hans Grossman. I'm gonna start this off by saying the solo was amazing. That solo was totally killer. I've heard of this guy before, although I don't think I've listened to anything by him. Song was well written, but it didn't really do a whole lot for me. I can't name specifically what it was, just other than the solo section, I just kind of felt like I heard it before. I don't know. Total grade for this song, equal sign. A Green World by the Gorillaz. I'm gonna say up front that I did listen to this 2 times, and the second listening helped a lot. I really appreciate these larger alt-rock or hip-hop bands, or whatever you want to call them, that put a lot more emphasis on being creative with what's happening in the sonic space. I think the ahs that they put in the background of the song, like the vocal ahs, were really good, and really, I think, separated this song from being just mundane and average. I also typically don't like that style of vocal, not the ahs, but the actual lead vocal that much, but in this scenario, it actually complemented the music extremely well. I still don't think it's necessarily my thing, but it was definitely fun to listen to. Total grade for this song, plus sign. Clubfoot by Caspian. Surprise to me, I actually liked the vocals in this one, although I'm not really sure who they remind me of. Again, excellent use of the sonic space, and again, second listening very much helped this one. Total grade for this one, plus sign. Hand of Doom by Black Sabbath. This is just a song that's emblematic of Black Sabbath. It's got the grooviness, it's got the, well, for the 70s, heavy guitars. It's got the kind of sticking to one groove and then venturing off into a completely different groove at a different tempo type thing. The weird modal solo in the middle. Don't have much else to say about it, honestly. It's Black Sabbath. Total grade for this song, equal sign. Shadow Moses by Bring Me the Horizon. I will say they're a really good band, this is a really good song. Hardcore just really isn't my thing. And I'm sure there's some subgenre of hardcore that someone's going to correct me on, and that's one of the reasons why I don't like hardcore very much. We'll say the song is well written, but as with a lot of hardcore, there's just a little bit too much noise going on in there for me. Overall grade for this song, equal sign. Fairy Tale by Shaman. Now, I don't know if there was supposed to be a studio recording of it, but I think the version I listened to was live. It was cool. It was a little straightforward for my tastes. There was nothing really negative about it. It just didn't pop enough to me. Although I will say the singer was amazing. That guy can definitely belt some notes, and he's a very, very good singer. But yeah, just something about it just didn't light me up. Overall grade for this song, equal sign. Panzerkampf by Sabaton. When I started listening to this song, my first thought was, do I have a Nazi who is my fan? He's talking about the German army's march in the early 40s. Like, I don't know what the hell was happening, dude. I was genuinely concerned I was gonna have to talk about politics on my video. You know, after trying to pay more attention to the lyrics, I was like, okay, this is just supposed to be like a historical documentation retelling type thing. We'll say it was an interesting story, and it painted a very good picture for what they were trying to tell. It's kind of like back in the medieval times when you would have these grand battles, and the soldiers would come back and sing songs of those times in the battlefield, and those would become like the battle songs. You sing about these epic times in your nation's history, and it's almost a way of rallying your troops and, well, a certain amount of nationalism as well. It's not something I would necessarily seek out again, but I'm glad I listened to it. Overall grade for this song, equal sign. The Stage by Avenged Sevenfold. This was probably the one that surprised me more than any of them. First, it starts off with this Ozzy Osbourne, like Mr. Crowley type intro, and I was like, okay, let's see where we're going. Then it busts out into a pretty sweet intro where he's doing some taps on the guitar, and we got the double kick going, which normally isn't my thing, but I was like, let's just keep riding it out. This is all right. And the song wound up being friggin' awesome. I gotta give mad credit on the guitar work. Holy hell. I mean, it was just fabulous. Great recording, great mixing, great writing. I mean, great playing. It was just all around fantastic guitar work. One of the reasons why Avenged Sevenfold never really stuck out to me as a band that I really love and like want to go listen to more of is because their singer. I never really cared for his voice. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad singer, that's just my opinion. But in this song, it did not take away my enjoyment of it at all. One of the things that I think really sold me on this song was the chord progression in the chorus. It's a little atypical, but super cool. And then the melody that they chose to go over top of it was like sealing the fucking deal, man. The bridge was awesome. The solo was so freaking tasty. Oh my gosh, very, very tasteful playing. It's not just a, oh, look at me be Mr. Technique. It actually had a lot of feel behind it. And then the perfect touch at the ending, exiting with the acoustic instruments. Total grade for this song, 2+ signs. Alright guys, so those are my thoughts on some of your suggestions. I will be getting to more of them tomorrow and then hopefully finishing up the ones that you've already suggested next Friday. Again, I will reiterate, if you put suggestions in the comments, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to be able to get to those, because I'm trying to get to all the old ones. But next Friday, we can start the song suggestions again. And I will have my suggestions for you tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. Rock on.